What's up guys, it's TH Silly Legs, and today we're coming with the second video for my Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection match analysis. And remember, this is a continuation from the first episode. So we're watching the second match of the 3v3 team tournament in SBO 2006. This one is Gekitetsu on Ganryu versus Tengoku on Nina. And remember, these are first to one sets. Now, first I want to go over sort of the strengths and weaknesses of both characters, in my opinion. So for Ganryu, his strengths, I feel like he has a very, very strong one jab for keep out. It's 12 frames, so, you know, it's about the speed of a normal down forward 1. It's, 2 frames shorter than a 10 frame jab and 4 frames shorter than an 8 frame jab. So that's its downside. But the upside is that it's +2 on block and it's +10 on hit. And, you know, in my view, you can kind of use it like a stop sign. I think it's a very, very strong tool that Ganryu has. He has simple and effective string pressure. So 1+2, 1+2, down forward 1 4 1, down forward 4 1. All these strings like that are just, they're simple. You may only do 1, you may only do 2. You know, you don't have many options. It's simple, but it's effective. He has an unseeable +5 on hit low, down forward 3. He has strong Oki with good moves that also hit grounded. So usually, you know, you have your strong moves, and you have your moves that hit on the ground. With Ganryu, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get both in the same package. You want to use 1+2 often. You want to use forward 2 for high crush. You want to use down forward 3 whenever you can to pepper it in. And these moves also hit grounded. So that's a very good strength of his. For weaknesses, he has weak punishment. His -10 Punisher headbutt is also -10 on block and very steppable. You don't get a jab punish until 12 frames. His down forward 2 is 16 frames instead of 15 frames. So he has a lot of trouble punishing. His tracking options are pretty good, but they're slow and punishable. Forward 2 is -15. Forward 1+2, I think, is -12. Down forward 3 is great at tracking, but it's launch punishable. So these moves get good reward on hit, but you have to be very careful. You have to make sure they're going for, you know, like a sidewalk, or you got to be really looking for that sidestep to get your reward, and for it to sort of be worth the risk that you're taking. And finally, and this is a really big weakness, I think, he has bad low crush options. He doesn't have a hop kick. His up forward 1+2, while having good damage, is easily stepped, and it's slow. And then his up back and up forward palm, up forward 1. I like the move. I think it would be much better if it was a hop kick, right? So that's some of the weaknesses. But overall, right, Ganryu is a character of strengths and weaknesses. That's how characters should be, right, I think. So, and then let's go on to Nina. Now, I haven't played Nina very much. I've played against Ninas, okay, but this analysis video is for the first time that I've actually gone through the whole character's move list. And so here's my opinion, okay. Her strength, she has 8 frame jabs. Wonderful. 8 frame jabs are perfecto. You know what I'm saying? You always want 8 frame jabs, right? Because you can interrupt things that you usually wouldn't be able to. And, you know, in later Tekken games, they've standardized jabs to all, you know, mostly be 10 frames. Maybe Jack doesn't have 10 frame jabs still. But in this game, some people have 8 frame jabs, some people have 10 frame jabs, and you have Ganryu and Jack with jabs that are past 10 frames. So when you have 8 frame jabs, you can't get any better, right? You can interrupt a lot of things, and this really makes the matchup with Ganryu hard for Ganryu, right? Now, Ganryu has simple and effective string pressure. I think Nina has string pressure with many options, not necessarily that they're very effective, right? I think Nina has a lot of strings where if the opponent knows what you're doing, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to get low parried. You're going to get ducked on the highs, right? So I'm not saying that she has, like, simple, effective string pressure. I'm saying that she has a lot of string pressure and cancels out of those strings. That's what makes it good. The fact that she has so many options and she can also cancel with sidesteps into her amazing sidestep buttons, right? I think that's kind of the difference between Ganryu's strings with strings and Nina's strings with strings, right? And my example I give is she has nine different string options from her down forward 3. She has great movement. She has a, I want to say like a wave, you know, it's kind of like a wave dash. It's a bit slower. It's a half circle forward motion. And then she also has Hayashida step, which is a quarter circle back motion. And then Hayashida canceling is canceling the Hayashida step, sort of does this, we'll see it in the match. And then you cancel into a side step and then Hayashida step again. And I'm going to tell you, I never played Nina before this match, and before I started working on this match and on this video. It's pretty dang easy to Hayashida step cancel, and it is some amazing movement. You can just glide across the screen. So she has fantastic movement, and I believe that she has strong, simple Oki with wipe the floor and shut up. This is like, it's not necessarily a full crouch mix, but you can make it look like a full crouch mix, right? And I believe you can do wipe the floor while crouching. It is a risky mix-up. It's not a fully safe mix-up, right? But if you watch Tekken 8, if you watch Arslan Ash play Nina, he does this mix-up now. So this mix-up's been good forever, right? And it's good at the highest level. So I'm not saying that she doesn't have better mix-ups. I'm saying I think this is a strong and simple one. And her weaknesses, I'm sorry guys, I really don't know. When I think about Nina, I feel like she's such a solid character. I'm not sure if she has any glaring weaknesses, but then again, like I said, I don't play her. So after the end of the in-depth match analysis, I'll try to give some more thoughts on maybe what I think her weaknesses are, at least in comparison to Ganryu. So now we got these introductions out of the way, let's go to our first round of watching the game. Alright guys, we're going to watch it all the way through, one time, no interruptions. I'm going to work on my live commentary. This is my first time really trying live commentary. I find it difficult, but practice makes perfect, right? So let's go. Gekitetsu versus Tengoku.
Round 1. Fight.
Starting out both movement. Whipping. Ooh, good sidestep. Gets the full combo. You have to adjust your combo on sidestep in that flow too. You see Tengoku using that upward 2 a lot. Ooh, whip punish with the reverse undercutter. Full combo at the wall. Interrupts with a down jab. See, I was down forward 1-2 into up forward 2. Hard to do it. Ace the first round.
2. Fight.
Ooh, steps shut up. Down forward 3. Let's go for safe strings. Up back 3. Whipping that jab. See that? Gets a throw. Ooh, down 1+2 on the back roll. Forward 1+2 to catch. 1+2. Down forward 4. Kabuki bomb for the perfect.
Round 3. Fight.
Back 1 to start. Safe option. With that one jab and down forward 3 again. Ooh. Steps up and upward 2. Ooh, big whiff, but no punish. Nope. Nice. Alright, that mid-range, they want to go in. Nice jab again. Yeah, I think Tengoku really needs to push more offense. Use speed to his advantage, right? He's playing more passing needs to. And jabbing down for 3 again. See that again.
Fight.
So Gekitetsu using that jab. Nice punish on the running 3. So he needs to do that more. He needs to do one down for 1-2. Down for 1. Finishes the string. Ooh, counter hit while edging 2. Wow, and that killed. Well, that was a good run through. So now let's do the full analysis. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break up the rounds into sequences, right? So I'm going to let the sequences play out, and then we're going to run through them with a fine-tooth comb. Okay? So let's start. Round 1, Geki Tetsu versus Tengoku, Ganryu versus Nina. Okay. Into the first sequence. Let's go back. And let's watch it through. Right. Okay. So first off, the start of this round, you know, I like to call this like feeling each other out, right? They're not committing to anything. They're backing up, right? Into this threshold that's like mid to long range and whiffing buttons. They're sort of testing the water to see if they can snipe something coming in, right? See, like, Geki Tetsu does down forward 1. This threatens, hey, I can continue the string that you might run into, right? And Tengoku does up forward 1. Now, we're going to see, he's going to use this move a lot. Okay, up forward 1, I'll put it up here. It's similar to Brian's orbital heal. It's a low crush mid, 18 frames, safe on block being -3. But here's the difference, it only launches on counter hit, but it's huge damage. And Nina recovers crouching, so it can lead into wall rising or full crouch mix-ups. And what happens right after this up forward 1 whiff? Geki Tetsu does the first part of Ganryu's Ganryu combo is what the move's called. Excuse me. Down forward 1, 2, 1. This move is 20 frames, so it's slow, right? But you can see this move advances a lot. Let me like do it frame by frame, right? You see how it goes very far, right? It starts here, and so it goes really far. And you don't have to extend it, right? You can extend it, but you don't have to. But look what Geki Tetsu does. After the first hit of the string on block, Ganryu is -5, so he's -5 here, right? Tengoku, expecting he wasn't going to finish the string. So Tengoku is thinking he's not going to finish the string, so I'm going to do the first hit, right? He does immediate down forward 1, 2. Down forward 1, 2, see? Geki Tetsu, knowing that Tengoku is going to do something on immediate timing, goes for a sidestep right. I think this tactic of sidestepping on a few minus frames is very strong in all Tekken games, but especially this one. Movement is strong in this game, and most moves don't track well, and it seems to be a bit more difficult to realign also to each other compared to other Tekken titles. So sidestep to counter immediate timing when you're just a few minus frames can lead to big damage like it does here, but you do need to adjust your combo for being off axis. So Geki Tetsu, I'll put the combo up here. This down forward 2, dash up 1 jab, 1 2 1 2, 1 plus 2, and then he catches Tengoku's back roll with down 1. And most of the time in this game, you want to tech roll because many moves can catch back rolls. And for an opponent to do a tech trap, it's usually harder to do and it's riskier. And so that's the end of this first sequence. Let's let the second sequence play out and we'll just talk about it. I should let the combo play, and then we'll go back. Okay. Let's talk about this one. This one is a really cool sequence too, I think. Oh boy, where are we? Oh shit, I skipped forward. My bad. Okay, here we go. So in this section, Tengoku is doing some low-risk offense and hoping to get a good step, right? And by low-risk offense, you can see it. Down forward 4, 1, jab. Down forward 1, whiff. Down 3 to interrupt. This is when he goes for his first sidewalk. Geki Tetsu doesn't bite, right? Up forward 1. He's only -3 here. Big sidewalk. Geki Tetsu whiffs it down forward 4, but catches finishing the string with 1, right? And then goes for down 1 plus 2 for some plus frames. Well, what does Tengoku do after this? He's minus on block here. He does up back 3. Okay, let's talk about this move for a second. I'll put it up. It is a low crush mid. You can do it forwards, neutral, or backwards, but you'll mostly see it used backwards. It's 13 frames, minus 10 on block, so I couldn't find any data for how plus on hit it is. Okay, so even though it's minus 10 on block, it's basically safe against all characters, because look how far she moves back, right? She jumps super far back, right? And so, but Ganryu is totally unable to punish it. So Tengoku uses this move here to have a very safe disengage from pressure. Then Gekitetsu is whiffing. He whiffs down 4-4, down jab, while rising 2, right? And so why does he do that? I think he does that whiffing from this range, hoping Tengoku will run into it, right? Down 2 is a high crush. While rising 2 has pretty good range. He's hoping maybe that Tengoku is going to try to whiff punish the down jab and get caught by the while rising 2. But that's not what happens. Tengoku doesn't take the bait, right? He's ready for this beautiful whiff punish, the reverse ivory cutter. And this combo, I'll put it up, is back 1 plus 4, down forward 3-2, 1-4-1 wall splat, 1-2-1-2. Alright, and this does 75 damage. And this can wall splat almost from round start on this stage. If they back up a smidge from round start and you're on axis with them, this will wall splat. So, back 1 plus 4 on Nina, great whiff punish. And let's start the last sequence. Awesome. Alright, I think every DR player that plays a longer set can relate to this this sequence of you have the opponent in an almost checkmate situation. You just gotta get a bit more damage, right? So this sequence, it's based around Tengoku. It's Tengoku's round to lose, right? He's just trying to get that chip, that little chip at the very end. He's not trying to really launch. He's, he's just trying to kill, just trying to get the last bit. And you can see that what's the first thing he does? He just goes for the quick chip low, right? And he's hoping, probably to do something like a wall rising 4 or a wall rising 1 out of this, right? Gekitetsu interrupts, taking his turn back with crouch jab. And then Gekitetsu goes for the grab. I think he's grabbing knowing that Tengoku will break the grab. Like, it's great if he doesn't break the grab, right? But from this grab break, look how far away from each other. It's like set back to neutral again, right? He's also away from the wall now. So grabbing was a good situation for Gekitetsu, whether it hit or didn't, right? So that's a very optimal play right there that is kind of hidden underneath the surface a little bit, right? Next, Tengoku just doing the safe offense with down for 1-2. Down for 1-2, it's a simple string, but it's tough to deal with. It's jailing, so that means you can't duck the high. You can punch parry, but on block it's only -3. So as Ganryu, you can only interrupt with headbutt. That's your only option, And then after this down for 1-2, Tengoku's -3, right? He does immediate up forward 1. And I think here he was trying to crush a crouch jab, right? If Gekitetsu would have gone for a crouch jab, this would have counter hit. So it's a good option here, because Gekitetsu just showed that crouch jab earlier in this same sequence, right? And then after, look what he does. He does up back 3 after hit up forward 1. So he's +3 there. Why does he go for this up back 3? Before I said up back 3 was a move used to disengage, right? Why would he disengage here when he's trying to close out the round? Well, in this case, I think he's just trying to do the safest, fastest mid possible to try and catch any buttons, because this should trade, up back 3 should trade with headbutt and counter hit any other options in this scenario. So it's a very high coverage move. So he gets swatted out of the air going for up forward 1. Gekitetsu gets a ground 1+2 hit, but he dies getting hit by the down forward 1-2. So that is the end of the first round. So second round, let's start this sequence. This is kind of a long sequence here. Okay, we're gonna talk about this right here. Gets the grab. Down +2. Okay. So, again, that was kind of a long sequence, but it was only really one main interaction, right? So let's start at the beginning. Okay. So round starts, Sengoku starts with this mix-up I mentioned at the start of the video. Is he going to do the mid or the low? In this case, he does the mid, right? And Gekitetsu is ready with a step, but he doesn't go for a whip punish. He goes for a one jab, blocked, and a down forward 3. I think this small little move sequence right here, one jab, block, and a down forward 3, is actually pretty good, because with the +2 on block jab, you're presenting so many options. Now, to be fair, none of those options can be an interrupting 8-frame jab after the blocked one jab, right? But he doesn't have to take his frames. Gekitetsu doesn't. Gekitetsu could hard duck, he could sidestep, he could extend the jab string. He's got so many options, and because there's so many options, it's a great opportunity to catch the opponent with down forward 3. After this, they back off a little bit, right? Tengoku puts pressure with the string, okay? And check this out. Down forward 4, jab, jab, jab. Now, what is he doing? Jab, 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 right? I think this shows one jab sting, right? He's basically sending a message to Sengoku. You want to come in on me? You're either going to be -2 on block or -10 on hit, right? Because I'm putting this stop sign. Here, let me try it. I mean, look, he literally looks like he's saying, like, stop, you know? So I think in this range, in this, like, mid kind of coming into close range, right? It's a great space control tool, even if you're just whipping it multiple times in neutral, okay? After, Gekitetsu runs in and gets the throw. Now, why do I think he threw here? Why do I think he run in, throwed? Well, first, he'd already threw Tengoku before. You know, Tengoku hasn't broken the throw. He broke it once, but I think he's already been thrown once, too. And also, I think Tengoku isn't a ducker. We haven't seen him duck in neutral, really. Which is usually a good habit, right? You don't usually want to duck. That's vulnerable. But in this case, Gekitetsu knows he's not going to duck, so I can just go for the throw, right? That's what I believe. So he gets the throw. Tengoku goes for the back roll, and Gekitetsu catches him with the 1+2 back roll, and that combos into forward 1+2 and the ground of 1+2. Now, he completes the string with the second 1+2. I think that's a mistake. I don't see the benefit here. I think that was probably a mistake. Then Tengoku doing this good old reliable safe down for the 1+2, right? Simple safe offense. Goes for through. Gekitetsu does like a crazy like fuzzy duck, or you know, like a, that's just a crazy duck, right? And then gets a headbutt, but it's only normal hit, not counter hit. He backs up, controls space with down forward 4, gets the hit, right? And he gets the chip on low Kabuki palm. And again, look how far away that was. Yeah, he's right here when it starts. Boom. So, and it ends this round in a perfect. You know, that was kind of crazy. There wasn't that many interactions, right? There was a lot of mid-screen lifting, and then one big interaction into controlling some space some more and some chip. And so, you know, what I want to say about perfects, they're anomalic, of course. So you think they should be studied more closely. But in some cases, I really don't think it's that complex. I think some perfects, one player makes better choices, or the other player guesses wrong once or twice, right? This match, it did return to neutral multiple times. So I think this perfect was from Gekitetsu just having really safe and solid gameplay. And you can see that Gekitetsu didn't really push his offense super hard that much this round. It just took a few key moments of offense to be in a great situation to have that round sealed. Round 3, this is a pretty fast first sequence, but it's something I want to talk about. Right here, right at that sidestep. I want to talk about So first he does the good, safe round start, right? Up back one. Then they're just sitting in this mid range. He does the jab down 4-3 again. So you see him, he already did that before. So I think we can say, you know, it was too far away. You need to be a bit closer. So that's also good to know. Even though you hit the jab, doesn't mean you're going to hit the down 4-3, right? But I think we can say this is a good sequence, right? The down 4-4-1 cancel and the sidestep. This kind of string cancel is what makes this matchup so difficult for Ganryu, in my opinion. Because it's very hard to interrupt this Ganryu out of this kind of pressure with headbutt, because headbutt is sidesteppable. And you can't use jab, right? Jabs are 12 frames. He could just do down 4-1, or he could just do his 8-frame jabs, you know. Plus, you know, they might be stepped anyways, so he could just keep stepping, you know, who knows. So there's a lot of options Nina has from that. And all you really have is Ganryu is the headbutt. So I think that little quintessential sidestep, and he does it into sidestep 1-4, right? So sidestep 1 is a pain for anybody to deal with. I think especially for Ganryu. Now, to be fair, I always say this often, you could punch parry. Okay, so you could punch parry out of that, but like I said, this kind of pressure is hard because all you have is headbutt for your 10-frame option, and it can just be interrupted 1,000 ways to Sunday. He's hit down for 1-2, safe pressure. He gets the sidestep, clean sidestep on the up forward 1. Check this out. Since Nina recovers crouching on up forward 1, remember when I mentioned that before? She recovers crouching on up forward 1. The back 1 goes over her. Now he does take his plus frames from this back 1-1-1, but he doesn't, you know, he doesn't push too hard. He just does the 1 jab. He just takes his plus frames, just one jab, and backs up. You don't always have to take your plus frames. And, you know, not taking your plus frames can be pretty good because it breaks up that pattern behavior. The opponent's sort of mental profile of what you're going to do, you know, it may not change radically, but it's going to change some when you have the opportunity for plus frames and you don't take it, you back up. That's breaking this pattern. Now now whatever response they sort of had mentally loaded up, right, is now gone out the window. So not taking the plus frames can be a good way to break up, to sort of diversify your offense, right? Huge whiff on the full crouch 1+2. You do not want to whip this move. It's a good low, you know, but you really don't want to whip this move because it's very, very vulnerable here. But I believe Tengoku wasn't ready for the punish. So it is down forward 1, down forward 1+2 to catch this any stepping if Gekitetsu would have tried to step, because right, he just got stepped on that up forward 1, right? And then Gekitetsu gets a float combo. I believe he's probably doing up forward 1. Right, so you just see Tengoku using these same moves over and over again. And it's not that it's bad to use these moves over and over again. It's that these moves are good coverage against moves that Ganryu might want to do. Right, but in this case, he gets floated into the freight train combo, down forward 1-4-1, into grounded hit on the 1+2, into a forward 1+2 on the back roll catch. So that's another back roll that Tengoku did that Gekitetsu punished with a back roll catch. So Ganryu has pretty good back roll catches, right? And then here they're kind of filling it out again. Mid-range, whiffing some buttons, right? There's a 1 jab. Whiffs down 4-4. Tengoku going for that safe offense again, right? Forward 1+2, catches him, does immediate up forward 1, catches him, and then Gekitetsu does grab after getting hit on up forward 1. So why does he do this grab? I don't fully know, sure, but what I think is that he thought Tengoku was going to delay, so he's going to do up forward 1, and then whether it was on hit or block, he was going to delay button to try to catch a sidestep. And then so Gekitetsu, thinking that Tengoku was going to delay, does a grab because a grab is a relatively fast option, and Tengoku hasn't broken grabs often, right? Knowing, or he's guessing that Tengoku isn't gonna press a button, so the grab's gonna be safe to do, right? And at the end of this, it's kind of a mirror of the last round. Now Gekitetsu is just trying to get his last bit of chip. And he gets it with a little sequence we've seen before, right? So let me play this out. So he gets the grab. Gets the Kabuki Palm, great chip low, remember? Whiff. Swiffing. That's okay because he has a lot of health, right? He has enough health to be able to whiff, and he's not going to die by it, right? He's just trying to get that last chip. He's just putting out hitboxes, hoping Tengoku's going to run into it, right? And what does he do? He gets the jab hit. Okay, so this isn't jab block. I said it was the same sequence as before. It's a bit different. It's an important difference, though. It's jab hit, down 4-3. Jab hit is plus 10 on hit. So now down 4-3 is a frame trap for a lot of different moves, right? And bam, KO. And so now, round 4.
Round 4. Fight.
This first sequence, and it's going to be a bit of a long sequence. One plus 2. It's on the Kabuki Bomb. Headbutt. Okay. So, a lot of stuff happened there. I really need to get better at my live commentary, huh? So, let's write this down. So, they start feeling each other out, moving at mid-range, right? Tengoku goes for running 3. Gekitetsu punishes with a grounded 1 plus 2 hit. He whiffs Kabuki Palm. Now, I'm pretty sure Kabuki Palm doesn't hit low. But I'm not too sure because Tengoku, oh my god, tech roll. God, I couldn't think about this. Tech roll. And then steps around. Tengoku, I think he definitely could have got a launcher here. I'm not positive, but I'm almost positive he could have got a launcher here. I think he probably thought he didn't have enough time, maybe, or it was an error, or he didn't think he could get much out of an off-axis combo from a launcher. So he goes for that good old reliable down forward 1-2. Now it's not a punish though. Then he does down forward 1. His jab gets headbutted, but not counter hitted. That kind of looked like it should have been a counter hit, right? But I think the jab whiffed and Gekitetsu did headbutt. Down forward 2, down forward 1, 1. Now, Gekitetsu is good at placing those headbutts, right? That's twice he's gotten out of pressure with headbutts. Down forward 4, 1, down 1 plus 2. Right? Pressuring him. Goes for the grab. Tengoku ducks the grab. What a great duck. And then Gekitetsu, I think he already made his mind up. Right? Once Tengoku had ducked the grab, he was like, I'm doing wall rising too, because that was so fast, right? And I think he ends up counter hitting. It looks kind of like down forward 2. And then let's check out this combo. It kills with this combo. So the combo he does is counter hit while rising 2, up forward 2. 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, forward 1 plus 2. Now, that did like half-life. Okay, it did so much damage. But I cannot, for the life of me, hit this combo. The delay after the up forward 1 plus 2 is huge. I've tried this combo at least 50 times, and I just can't get the first 2-1 to hit. So if anyone knows what I'm doing wrong, please let me know. And that ends this match analysis. Let's go to the conclusion. Okay guys, and to conclude, let me tell you my insights on Ganryu that I got from this match. One, and this is really simple, but it's, it's effective if you can actually hit the combo. Counter hit while rising 2 can do 50%. That's why Gekitetsu whips it a lot, because it's safe on block with crazy reward. You must place your headbutts very carefully against Nina's offense because it's so fast, has cancels, sidesteps, and it's low risk. And Ganryu has overall more impactful moves and a more simple game plan. And what I mean by that, well, this is connected to my insight on Nina. If Nina plays with very safe offense, similar to how Tengoku played, for example, down forward 1-2, into one jab, into down forward 1, into down 3, like that kind of sequence on hit or block, it is good. But you're also not utilizing your full bag of tricks as Nina because top players can deal with those strings better. And that goes for every Tekken character, right? Like, every Tekken character has fluff in their move list, right? But when it comes to Nina, I feel like that is especially true because a lot of her strings have like built-in lows in them that can be low parried or different things like that. Whereas Ganryu, like, and when you're doing offense like this safe, strong offense that Tengoku kind of does, just down for 1-2, those moves aren't as impactful, right? It's not as impactful as when Gekitetsu does a counter hit while rising 2, right? It's a lot, in some ways it's a lot less effort, than just having to do a down forward 2 or hitting a counter hit while rising 2. Whereas when Nina plays a safe offense, it's down forward 1-2s into down forward 1 into sidestep 1, so that's something that I sort of took away, that Nina has strong offense, but that really strong offense that you do isn't as directly rewarding as the offense that Ganryu does. Okay, and then for next episode 3, we'll have Gekitetsu versus Idamashin. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It took a bit of work, I feel like I'm getting better, and I'm gonna do more and get better, and I'm excited, and I hope y'all enjoy it.